Hello, this is KY Games Racing, and this is my lap of the Nürburgring Nordschleife in the Mercedes GT3. This is the Touristenfahrten layout. Now, as you can see, I'm weaving, trying to get as much heat into the tires as I can before the lap starts. So you can see the cones there. Then at that point is where I can take the pit speed limiter off and accelerate into second gear, third gear. You see that bridge up there? That's where your lap begins. Into fourth gear. Now fifth, you're going to go full speed through this quick left-right exchange. And now straight on the brakes, go all the way down to second gear. Be careful, as a reminder, the tires aren't quite warm yet. As I take the car into the grass a little bit, no harm, no foul. And now I'm going to brake and go down into first gear, all the way down to first gear. Back up into second on acceleration, third, full speed through this right-hander. You're going to want to lift, though, through this second one. You cannot go through that full speed on cold tires. Now you're going to want to brake down to second gear through the S's, back up in the third on acceleration. Now for these S's complex, you're going to want to brake, but keep the car into third gear. Now for these S's complex, you're going to have to want to brake to second gear, accelerate back into third gear, fourth gear. Now you're going to want to be careful on the hump here, this next one right here, because the car wants to get all four tires off the ground. Now you want to go off the gas for these next two corners because the car is still light from getting up off the ground as we accelerate up into sixth gear. Now be careful in this next corner. It really catches a lot of people out. You want to lift off the gas, just float the car through, and then brake hard for this right-hander down all the way to second gear. Accelerate back up into third, fourth, fifth, and now as you go through the foxhole, you're going to want to be in sixth gear. Now for this left-hander up here, you want to brake and quickly go down into fourth gear. Continue braking into third, just slight acceleration and brake and go down into second gear. Just feather the throttle around these next couple corners. Now straight on the gas, third gear, fourth gear. Now you're into fifth gear. Now you're going to want to just dab the brake just a little bit in this next corner. Now brake hard, go all the way down into second gear. As you can see, I caught the curb and got a little bit of oversteer. Now go down into second. Be careful on the exit of this corner. The curb really approaches you fast. All the way up into fourth gear. Now lift a little bit through this left-right complex. Now brake. A lot of people like to keep it in fourth. I go down to third for a little bit of engine braking. Almost up into fifth. Now I'll brake hard. Go all the way down in second as I almost lose the rear of the car. Catch the curb a little bit. Now go up into third gear. Fourth gear. Down into third. Now brake just a little bit here in this right-hander, go down into second gear, back up into third on acceleration. Now into fourth. Now for this next left-hander, you're going to want to shift up into fifth and keep your foot fully on the gas. Now brake hard, go into third gear. Again, this curb on the left really catches you out if you're unprepared for it. Now go up into fourth gear on acceleration. This next section is extremely fast. So you're going to want to keep your foot on the gas as you go up into fifth gear. Now keep your foot fully on the gas. As you almost get up into sixth gear, there it is. Fully on the gas. Now just quickly brake and shift into fifth gear for that left-hander. Then get back into the gas on exit. And you're going to want to take your foot off of the gas for this right-hander. Now brake hard, go down all the way into second gear for this right-hander right here. Now back onto the gas, accelerate out of it. Now you're going to want to brake hard into the carousel A lot of people like first gear. I like second gear because it gives you less wheel spin on exit. Back onto the gas, third gear, up into fourth gear. Now this next corner is going to be full throttle. Now just shift up into fifth gear, back down into fourth, back down into third for the right-hander. And now for this right-hander, I like to keep it in third as I accelerate back up into fourth. Lift a little bit right here. Now brake for this left-hander and just feather the throttle through the right-hander. Up at the top of the hill, I like to shift down into third, accelerate briefly, almost back up in the fourth gear, not quite, as I have to brake for the left-hander. And I needed some extra engine braking, so I need to shift down into second gear to keep the car on the track. Back up into third, now back down to second for the right-hander, up into third. Now you're going to have to slow down much more for this left-hander than you think. You're going to have to go down into second, back up into third, full throttle, fourth gear. Be careful for this next corner. You're going to get all four tires off the ground. You got to shift down into fourth gear and brake hard for it. Accelerate again through this section. Now this is all full throttle right here. Shift up into sixth gear. Not quite. There it is. Now I'm going to want to brake and shift down into fourth. Now brake again, shift down into third. And here's a little mini carousel. You're going to want to shift down into second gear for it. Basically a mini version of the last carousel as we accelerate back up into third, fourth for the last corner right here. You got to make it all count right now. Accelerate hard out of it. Hard. Down the straight. Up into fifth gear. And the lap ends at the Audi bridge. And the lap was a 6:28, not too bad. This is the longest and most dangerous track in the world in real life, but on the sim, anyone can experience it. So I would like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoy what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.